Welcome back to the deep dive. If you're looking for the ultimate shortcut to being really well informed about the complex, often explosive world of Genoa City, you are definitely in the right place. Today we are strapping in for, wow, 3 weeks of massive, high-stakes drama. We're pulling knowledge directly from the sources covering September 8th right through to the 26th, 2025.
That's absolutely right. And the source stack for this period is exceptionally dense. Our mission here is really to cut through all that noise.
Yeah.
We're not just covering one crisis. We're actually tracking two colossal conflicts running side by side. On one hand, you've got this dizzying, emotional, frankly, legal relationship crisis. We're talking secret deals, literal blackmail.
Right.
And then on the other hand, a huge high-stakes corporate espionage plot. And this one involves cutting-edge technology being used for, well, pure destruction.
It really is the ultimate Genoa City chess match, isn't it? You've got that raw emotional fury versus this cold strategic corporate malice. We see the emotion playing out instantly. Adam Newman's fury, you can almost feel it. And then there's this genuinely shocking outburst from Claire Grace Newman.
Oh, yeah.
But the strategy, that comes almost entirely from the Newman patriarch. Victor Newman's most audacious and honestly kind of terrifying scheme yet.
And what's crucial for you listening to understand is that looking at these sources, nobody is safe. And absolutely no one has the full picture.
No.
Every single major player, from the brand new CEOs trying to make their mark to those supposedly finding true love, they're all operating on incomplete, frankly, dangerous information. It makes their every single move a calculated risk. It's the definition of a deep dive into systematic deception.
Okay, let's unpack this. Right, so we have to start with this relationship triangle, because it really kicks off the entire 3 weeks of chaos, doesn't it? And it happens right before a major corporate event.
It does. Monday, September 8th. Audra Charles is, well, she's completely unraveling. She's openly complaining to Sally Spectra about her issues with Claire and Kyle.
And this isn't just like a casual vent session, right?
Not at all. This is severe pre-launch panic. The big AbbotCom event is looming, and she's losing it.
Okay.
And this panic, it has context. Sally Spectra, remember, she's Audra's boss now. So she tries to manage the situation. She's urging Audra, relax, steer clear of Kyle and Claire, who are going to be guests at the launch.
It makes sense, trying to protect the event and maybe Audra's reputation.
Exactly. Sally's worried about Audra behaving badly. But Billy Abbott, who's also laser-focused on this launch, he's already convinced Audra is a guaranteed problem, which suggests her recent behavior has been pretty visibly erratic.
So Sally thinks she can maybe handle Audra, maybe thinks Audra will prioritize her job.
You'd think so. But the sources show Audra immediately makes, like, the worst possible decision.
Of course.
She gets cornered by Holden Novak right after Sally leaves. And instead of taking Sally's advice, what does she do? She starts going off about Claire. Right. Holden, who seems to be genuinely trying to protect Claire here, tells her basically, knock it off and shut up.
And that's when it shifts, right? From just relationship drama to something darker.
Immediately pivots, straight into a criminal threat. Audra tries her usual tactic, mocking Holden, dismissing him, saying he stands no chance with Claire.
But Holden doesn't back down this time.
No. He escalates. Big time. He issues this severe threat, and it's rooted deep in their shared past. He says, point blank, if Audra doesn't leave Claire and Kyle alone, he will reveal a massive secret to Sally.
A secret? Okay, what kind of secret are we talking?
We're talking about Holden covering up Audra's illegal mess back in Los Angeles.
Whoa, okay. Illegal mess. It's
incredibly serious. This isn't just about hurt feelings or a breakup anymore. This is criminal exposure. Holden explicitly vows that if he spills the beans on this dirty secret, Audra will be done in Genoa City.
Done, meaning career over, right? Especially with Sally finding out.
Career annihilation, yes. But potentially severe legal trouble, too.
Wow.
So what's critical here is to look at the power dynamic. Suddenly, Holden has absolute leverage over her. The sources hint this LA situation, it might involve serious financial fraud or maybe professional misconduct that was, quote, not strictly legal.
Not strictly legal usually means very illegal.
Pretty much. If that gets out, Audra loses everything. Holden is weaponizing their past. And while he claims it's to protect Claire, he's essentially using blackmail as a tool for, like, relationship triage.
And the timing is just brutal. Audra's supposedly at her professional peak, getting ready for this big launch.
And boom. Her entire past, potentially criminal past, is leveraged against her. It almost guarantees she's going to lash out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because her main escape road, her career, has just been completely jeopardized by Holden. Hashtag B Victor's hidden hand and Kyle's impressive deal. So while Audra's busy dealing with these pretty terrifying threats,
Yeah.
Claire is just lost in confusion. She's upset, obviously, that Kyle kissed Audra, and Audra's been taunting her nonstop.
Right. That's got to be tough.
And then Kyle throws in that really ill-timed marriage proposal, just makes her question everything. She's actually wondering if her grandfather, Victor Newman, was right about Kyle being an opportunist all along.
Oh, wow. Back to square one with the trust issues. But then Victor does something unexpected.
Totally unexpected. A massive twist straight from the man himself. Victor actually supports Kyle. He tells Claire, straight up, no ambiguity, that Kyle passed his test.
Passed his test. Victor tested Kyle.
Apparently so. And Victor says Kyle proved himself, confirming that he, Victor Newman, believes Kyle truly loves Claire. This endorsement from Victor, it's monumental, especially given his usual deep suspicion of anyone dating his family members.
Okay, but why? What test? What did Kyle possibly do to earn Victor Newman's stamp of approval?
That's the million-dollar question, or rather the
Yeah.
$5 million question. Victor reveals that Kyle came to him, offered him a deal that genuinely impressed Victor.
Impress Victor. That's a high bar.
It is. And it wasn't just the deal itself. Victor was also impressed that Kyle had managed to keep the details of this deal a complete secret from Claire.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. And the source confirms this is the $5 million contract we hear about later.
That's the one. The $5 million secret deal.
So this is just vintage Victor, isn't it? He doesn't reward love or emotion. He rewards strategic competence, secrecy.
Exactly. That's it precisely.
Kyle proving he can play the game, keep secrets. That's what Victor values. He's basically saying, okay, you're a worthy manipulator. You have my blessing.
It's the most expensive relationship insurance policy you could imagine, right? $5 million. And Victor, playing his cards close, refuses to tell Claire the specifics. Another power play.
Of course.
He just tells her, listen to your heart, talk to Kyle. He's giving Kyle this massive advantage, but it comes loaded with the weight of that secrecy. Kyle basically bought Victor's approval.
But now he has to sell the truth of that deal to Claire, and that truth might cost him the relationship itself.
Precisely. It's a huge gamble. Hashtag CC. The proposal pressure and demands for honesty.
Okay, so Kyle's got Victor in his corner, which is huge, but he definitely doesn't have Claire's trust back yet. Not even close.
No, and he knows it. He's dealing with his own sort of emotional fallout. He actually apologizes to Victoria Newman for overstepping with the proposal.
He does. Why, Victoria?
Well, he explains he never meant to hurt Claire, but he was trying to expose Audra's scheme, trying to rush things to offer Claire protection, I guess.
Okay. So he thought proposing would somehow help against Audra. That seems complicated.
Very. And Victoria starts connecting the dots here.
Yeah.
Both she and Kyle are now intensely worried about Audra lashing out, especially now that Audra feels like she has nothing to lose.
Because Holden's threat basically cornered her.
Exactly. Victoria points out the proposal came at the absolute worst time, right when Audra was at her most desperate. They realize they kind of created this dangerous variable, a desperate Audra, by trying to expose her in the first place.
It backfired. So Victoria, is she on board with Kyle now, given Victor's approval?
She seems shocked by her father actually endorsing Kyle. I mean, truly shocked. But she does find herself agreeing with Victor on one thing. Audra needs to be gone. Out of the picture.
Right, but the immediate problem is Claire. The proposal pressure isn't gone.
No, and it's about to hit its peak. Claire shows up. Kyle apologizes again, this time directly to her, for pressuring her about marriage.
No.
But Claire, she's done with apologies.
She wants answers.
She demands answers. Full transparency, she's demonstrating she really is a Newman here. She's tired of the secrets, the manipulations that have defined so much of her life and her family.
So she confronts him directly about the deal with Victor.
Yes. She demands to know the precise details.
Aw.
She knows there's this massive hidden transaction, the $5 million, and she recognizes, quite rightly, that she can't move forward if their entire foundation is built on some corporate secret she wasn't even told about.
That's fair. She needs honesty. #D, the LA secret unravels.
And just as Claire is demanding honesty from Kyle, the pressure cooker is exploding over with Holden and Audra.
Ah, the LA secret.
Yes. On Tuesday, September 9th, Holden starts cracking. It seems like it's partly the weight of the secret, partly his need to maybe impress Claire or win her trust.
So he confesses.
He starts to. He tells Claire something about what he and Audra did in L.A. He admits, quote, It wasn't strictly legal.
Okay, there's that phrase again. Not strictly legal, which confirms Audra's situation is dire.
Absolutely. But Claire, she's sharp. She doesn't just accept this partial confession. She immediately probes deeper.
What does she ask?
She asks Holden directly, are you trying to protect yourself? Or Audra? Or maybe someone else entirely? She sees right through it that his confession is tactical, not purely honest.
It's managing the information flow.
Exactly. And Holden is clearly wrestling with this. He worries Claire won't see him the same way if she finds out the full truth.
Which suggests the illegal mess is pretty bad, worse than just a minor mistake.
It seems like it might involve significant ethical or maybe even criminal compromise, something that would fundamentally change Claire's perception of him. The source does indicate he's expected to come clean soon, though. So the full depth of the LA secret is probably still hanging out there.
And then these three collide. Kyle, Claire, and Holden.
Yes, the sources mention a very tense run-in between them. Can you imagine that scene?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Kyle's guarding his $5 million secret deal.
Holden's just confessed to something shady and illegal.
And Claire's in the middle demanding the truth from both of them. Yikes.
It's completely unsustainable. Which leads us to the massive question for Kyle and Claire's future, doesn't it?
Can Kyle afford to keep that $5 million contract secret any longer?
Exactly. He knows Claire might just flip, as the source puts it. She might see it purely as manipulation, like he bought her grandfather's approval, even if he did make the deals sincerely trying to protect her.
So keeping the secret risks destroying trust immediately.
But revealing it. Revealing he paid Victor $5 million behind her back.
Yeah.
That might destroy the relationship entirely, too.
Huh.
He's trapped.
Okay, so switching gears now. Moving from those intense personal, legal, emotional messes, we pivot hard into the corporate destruction side of Genoa City. The individual dramas involving Audra, Kyle, Claire, Holden. They sort of give way to the launch of Billy and Sally's new venture.
AbbotCom.
Right. And the arrival of this massive strategic threat, #A, the ruined AbbotCom launch.
And the scope of Victor's campaign against the Abbotts becomes clear almost immediately. Wednesday, September 10th. This is supposed to be the big launch night for AbbotCom.
Which is Billy and Sally's big project, right? Their new communications and digital media division.
Exactly. It's ambitious. This is their big statement, their chance to prove they can work together, prove their corporate competence, especially Billy trying to prove himself to Jack.
So high stakes for them personally and professionally, but it doesn't go well.
Doesn't go well is an understatement. They walk into absolute devastation. Billy and Sally arrive at Society expecting the full corporate launch experience, decor, champagne, music, VIP guests. And the place is empty. The launch is completely, utterly ruined. The silence must have been just deafening.
Oh, that's brutal. Completely sabotaged.
Totally. And the only person waiting there, Ken Ashby, the man we already know is the saboteur.
Oh, the nerve. What does he say?
Sally is described as absolutely horrified, understandably.
Uh-huh.
Her new CEO venture is crashing and burning before it even gets off the ground. Kane, though, completely cool, nonchalant. He just says something like, he's glad they made it. He was starting to worry.
Wow. That chilling composure. It confirms he's not just caught up in this. He's the one pulling the strings, or at least a string.
Deaf from the perpetrator here. And the fallout is immediate and severe. By Thursday, September 11th, Billy has to answer to Jack Abbott, head of Jabot. Oh. This wasn't just a minor PR hiccup. This was a total public failure of their big new signature project. For Billy, who is constantly trying to prove himself to Jack, this is just a colossal blow to his credibility. Yeah. #tag FID, Victor's grand plan, and Kane's role. And the sources confirm what we pretty much suspected. Kane, he's just a tool, a lever in a much grander, far more malicious scheme. And it's orchestrated by Victor.
Okay, what's the end game here? What's Victor's actual goal?
It's monumental. Victor intends to use Kane's sophisticated AI software.
The super-duper AI the sources mentioned.
That's the one, yeah. He plans to use it to permanently ruin Jabot. And Jack Abbott personally.
Permanently ruin. Not just hurt them, not just a hostile takeover, but ruin.
That's the language used. Permanent ruin. This isn't about short-term losses or market share. This is about legacy annihilation.
Wow. Okay, we need to pause on that. Permanent ruin. For Victor, that means what? Striking at the absolute heart of the Abbott empire, the core brand, its long-term viability.
Exactly. Think about Kane's technology. It's not just like a simple virus. We're likely talking about advanced corporate infiltration software. Stuff capable of using deep learning analytics to identify and exploit every single vulnerability in Jabot's systems.
Financial systems, supply chains.
All of it. And maybe most importantly, customer data integrity. Imagine the damage.
It's terrifying that Victor is willing to unleash something like that.
It speaks volumes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But the plot, it seems multi-pronged. On Wednesday, the same day as the launch disaster, Phyllis Summers grabs control of something. We don't know what yet. And Jack receives some kind of cryptic message that really worries him.
So Victor might be using Kane's external AI attack.
Well, Phyllis is maybe moving things around on the inside. Insider information, corporate data, amplifying the chaos. It's possible.
And Phyllis, being Phyllis, the agent of chaos, she immediately starts trying to capitalize on the wreckage.
Oh, yeah. On Thursday, she starts pushing Sally's buttons, giving her unsolicited, unwanted advice. The sources speculate it's probably related to the Abbott.com launch disaster.
She's inserting herself right into Sally's biggest failure as CEO, looking for weaknesses, maybe trying to drive a wedge between Sally and Billy.
Almost certainly. And around the same time, we see a really crucial ethical line being crossed elsewhere. Nick Newman entrusts Sharon Newman with a secret.
Okay, what secret?
The sources heavily speculate, and it makes sense, that Nick is confiding in Sharon about the alliance Victor is pushing to form with Kane, specifically about using Kane's powerful AI program to target and destroy Jabot and Jack.
So Nick knows about the permanent ruin plan, and he's horrified.
It seems that way. Nick is clearly worried about the sheer immorality of his father's actions. He needs to confide in Sharon, the one person he trusts completely, to keep this secret. It's a sign of how disturbed he is.
It's a real moment of character depth for Nick, isn't it? He's tolerated Victor's corporate aggression for years, but maybe using this kind of next-gen tech for total destruction? Maybe that's a bridge too far for him.
It really seems like it. He's seeking moral guidance, or at least a safe place to voice his fears. #TagTagC. Shifting alliances and ethical issues. So as this whole AI plot thickens, we start seeing relationships being systematically poisoned by it. On Friday, September 12th, Victor and Michael Baldwin are apparently seeking closure on some unfinished business.
Unfinished business? Didn't Michael just quit working for Victor?
He did. And this closure seems directly related to that. And, more importantly, related to the fact that Michael is now considering a high-profile job offer from Kane Ashby.
Ah. Okay, so Victor's not just letting Michael walk away clean, especially not if he might go work for the guy Victor is using.
Exactly. Victor's not letting this go. And the dominoes fall fast. Kane gains somebody new in his corner, a highly placed ally who can help advance his destructive agenda.
Cool. Do we know who?
The sources speculate it's one of two people, either Sally Spectra, who's now under immense pressure after the launch failure and maybe desperate,
or Michael Baldwin, who's looking for independence from Victor but might just trade one master for another.
Precisely. If it's Michael, that's a huge get for Kane. Access to top-tier corporate legal strategy. But the plot gets even thicker going into the next week, September 15th and 19th.
How so?
Michael is seriously considering the risky move of working for Kane, but Victor explicitly wants Michael to spy for him while he's there.
Spy? Oh, come on. Victor wants Michael to be a double agent.
That's exactly what it sounds like. He's demanding Michael compromise his integrity, his professional future, everything, just for corporate espionage.
This takes it from corporate warfare to, like, actual intelligence gathering.
Yeah.
Using human relationships as weapons.
It's classic Victor, weaponizing loyalty and ambition, forcing Michael into this impossible position.
And Michael would have to hide this from Lauren, right? His wife.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The source specifically mentions Michael will be hiding this secret spying from Lauren. Victor is asking Michael to put his marriage on the line, to be his eyes and ears inside Kane's operation. It's the definition of a moral hazard.
Okay, but what if the new ally isn't Michael? What if it's Sally?
If it's Sally, she is in deep, deep trouble. As the new CEO, she's already facing this crippling ethical issue, something related to Abbott.com, Kane, Jack, and Billy that's making her feel very uncomfortable.
Which could be Kane offering her a way out, maybe, blaming Billy.
Possibly. But if she aligns herself with Kane, knowing he sabotaged her launch, she'd be committing corporate treason against her partners, Billy and Jack. It would guarantee her professional downfall if it ever came out.
Either way, Kane gets a powerful pawn and someone's integrity is shattered. All right, so as we push into the middle and final weeks of September covered by these sources, the corporate plans are accelerating. Kane's got his new ally, Victor's pushing forward.
Yep. And the personal dramas, which are just fueled by all this deception and pressure, they find new, really risky avenues to explore. #TagTagJeller. Escalation of Kane's plan and Sally's struggles. So with his new high-level allies secured, whether that's Michael bringing legal power or Sally maybe providing internal access, Kane is ready. He's set to move forward with his big plan during the week of September 15th through the 19th.
Meaning the full-scale attack on Jabat is coming? The Abacom sabotage was just the opening shot.
Seems like it. It was just a precursor. Now the real assault begins, using that AI.
And the sources predict a really tough time for Sally Spectra specifically.
Oh yeah, an intense period. She's predicted to face significant personal and professional struggles, and they stem directly from Kane causing these problems with her business.
I mean, imagine the stress. You're a brand new CEO, your big launch is publicly ruined, and now you know it's part of this coordinated attack potentially involving Victor Newman.
Exactly. And her personal life. Already incredibly complicated with Billy, with Adam, that's bound to suffer too, as her professional reputation just gets hammered. #TedB. The meddlers and unhinged personalities. And we absolutely have to factor in the unstable elements here, the wild cards who just accelerate the chaos.
Starting with Billy Abbott.
Starting with Billy. Despite dealing with the utter collapse of Abacom, his big project, what's he doing? He's immediately making risky personal moves. Specifically, tangling himself up in Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson-Newman's relationship.
Why is Billy doing that right now while his own business is basically on fire?
It's classic Billy deflection, isn't it?
Yeah.
Avoid his own massive problems by sticking his nose into someone else's drama.
But the relevance check here is crucial, like the outline says. This interference, it's almost guaranteed to mess things up with Sally, right?
Oh, absolutely. Sally is already hanging by a thread professionally, and remember, she co-parents with Adam. Billy stirring the pot with Adam and Chelsea adds immense pressure to Sally's already, frankly, untenable position, his self-destructive meddling.
And then there's Phyllis.
Oh, Phyllis. The sources basically describe her as operating just unhinged during this whole period.
Unhinged how?
She's pushing her limits everywhere. She's pushing Sally's buttons, trying to needle her. She's somehow managed to get herself into hot water with Kane, which is a really dangerous move, considering his power and Victor's backing.
Getting on Kane's bad side while he's running this AI plot, not smart.
Not smart at all. And she's also pushing Nick, probably ignoring his warnings about Kane.
What's driving her? Is it just general chaos, or is there a specific target?
The sources point to one thing. She cannot stand the idea of Danny Romalotti and Christine Williams getting married. She just can't handle their happiness.
So all this instability, this poking and prodding, it's her desperate attempt to distract herself or maybe derail their wedding.
Seems very likely. The planning for Danny and Christine's wedding apparently takes an unexpected turn. And the overwhelming speculation is that Phyllis is absolutely directly behind whatever that disruption is. She uses chaos like a shield, trying to turn the spotlight away from her rivals finding happiness.
The intensity of her actions, like pushing Nick, who actually knows how dangerous Kane is, it's a huge warning sign, isn't it?
It really is. It suggests she's willfully ignoring vital warnings. She's prioritizing her personal vendetta over common sense, maybe even over her own safety. #tag secondary relationships and new opportunities.
Okay, so while this huge corporate war is raging and Phyllis is off being unhinged, we also see these subtle shifts in some of the secondary relationships, things that could have really long-term consequences.
Yeah, like on Tuesday, there's this interesting little moment between Tessa Porter and Daniel Romalotti.
Daniel, Phyllis's son, Danny's son. Okay, what happens?
Tessa tells Daniel she's really excited to see Danny's reaction when Daniel plays his first song for his dad. It's a supportive moment.
Nice.
But then that flirtation starts. It's immediate and feels significant. Daniel flirts right back. He tells Tessa the lyrics and melodies she created are beautiful, just like her.
Oh, okay. That's pretty direct flirting, especially considering Tessa's situation with Mariah.
Exactly. It immediately signals this potential new romantic path opening up, which of course raises huge questions about the status of Mariah Copeland and Tessa's relationship. Are they officially over? Still separated?
Well, we get a clue there too, don't we? Mariah makes a confession to Tessa.
Yes. And given the context, the tension we've seen between them, the sources really push us to speculate. Is this confession the final nail in the coffin? The thing that pushes them from separation towards actual divorce?
Which would conveniently or heartbreakingly clear the path for Tessa and Daniel to maybe explore this new connection. A confession like that in this situation usually means some kind of painful truth that seals their fate, right?
Often, yeah. It feels ominous for Mariah and Tessa.
Meanwhile, Nick is still trying to be the voice of reason, at least with Phyllis.
He keeps trying. He warns Phyllis again about the genuine danger Kane represents. He tells her basically, cut bait and run. Get away from Kane, get away from this mess.
Advice that the source predicts she will.
Completely ignore, of course. Plunging herself further into the corporate mess, closer to Kane's dangerous sphere of influence. Typical Phyllis.
And what about Audra? After Holden's threat and losing Kyle, what's her next move?
Pure desperation. She goes directly to Nate Hastings, begging him for another chance.
Professionally or personally? Or both?
Probably both. It shows Audra scrambling, trying to secure any kind of lifeline, professional or personal, now that this illegal LA mess is hanging over her head like the sword of Damocles. Nate represents corporate power, professional stability, everything she feels like she's rapidly losing.
Makes sense. She needs an anchor.
And finally, we circle back to that initial triangle. After Holden's partial confession about the not strictly legal stuff, Claire receives an interesting invitation from Holden.
Interesting invitation. Given everything that's happened, the secrets, the tension, the blackmail threat, that can't be just a casual coffee date.
No way. It suggests Holden is still fighting aggressively for Claire's attention. Maybe he's offering a fuller disclosure of the LA truth now. Or perhaps making some kind of desperate counteroffer to compete with Kyle's, very calculated $5 million show of sincerity.
So, more complications, more secrets potentially coming out. Hashtag tag outro.
Wow.
Yeah. Looking back over these 3 weeks, the sheer density is just incredible, isn't it? We tracked a $5 million secret contract literally designed to buy relationship stability.
While at the same time, seeing this secret illegal mess from LA being weaponized as actual criminal blackmail,
Yeah.
the personal cost of all this secrecy is just overwhelming.
And the corporate scale. Even more terrifying, maybe, we saw the immediate public ruin of a major company launch,
Yeah.
and then confirmed Victor's absolute goal, the permanent destruction of the entire Jabot legacy using Kane's advanced AI software. Every contract feels compromised. Every key relationship, Michael and Lauren, Billy and Sally, Kyle and Claire, is operating under just extreme duress.
Constant pressure, constant secrets.
So what does this all mean?
I think it means the fundamental structure of Genoa City, or at least the corporate and power structures, are just poisoned by transactional thinking. Everything is a deal. Everything has a price.
Yeah.
I mean, when a high-powered attorney like Michael Baldwin is explicitly asked to spy on his potential new boss for Victor, and when new technology, this powerful AI, is deployed not for innovation, but for complete annihilation, the whole corporate ecosystem just feels incredibly fragile.
And unstable.
Totally unstable. The sheer volume of hidden information, all these secrets swirling around, it guarantees that mistakes will be made, huge mistakes. And the consequences are going to be severe, especially for those caught in the middle, like Sally.
Right. It seems like the true danger here isn't really Kane's sophisticated AI, scary as that is, or even the enormous sums of money Kyle spent. It's the willingness, isn't it? The willingness of powerful people like Victor to leverage human capital, turning allies against new ventures, manipulating relationships just to achieve this goal of permanent ruin against a major legacy like Jabot.
That's the core of it, the human cost.
Which really raises an important question for you, the listener, to think about. How much is one personal relationship worth? Michael's integrity, maybe his marriage. Claire's hard-won trust. How much are those worth when they're weighed against the goal of destroying an entire corporate legacy? And maybe just as crucially, given the instability of figures like Phyllis and Billy, who's going to be the first domino to fall and expose this entire interconnected web of secrets?